Welcome to Classic Rewind. Today I am going to be working on fitting my trunk lid to the new quarter panels and the new deck lid here that I put. When I put the lid on, I noticed that it was off a little bit, but nothing that I can't deal with. I got to do some grinding and some welding, and I will show you what I need to do. I'm going to bring you down here and point out, like, this quarter panel here doesn't go all the way to the edge, and I checked this deck lid with the original deck lid, and it is very good except where the bushings are for the stopper when you close the trunk. Let me close this real quick. So they have little bushings here, little rubber stoppers to stop, so it's a soft bump when you close it. I have to put them in to get my final adjustment, and I will show you them. But the problem is, that's the difference between this deck lid and the original deck lid. I marked where I need to fill with some metal, and if you look right here, right where this quarter panel hits this panel here, the deck lid panel, you could see that it's not right on the corner there. So either this quarter panel's too short or this panel's too long, and since I put this panel in last, I'm assuming that this quarter panel is too short, and that's what I mean by make sure you dry fit everything. So from here all the way to this point here, I got to put a bead of weld all the way down here. So this is where I got to stop. So I start filling in, and then as you come down here, so from this point here down is where I have to start grinding. Actually, from this point here, I made a mark. From this point here all the way down to here, I got to grind. Okay, so from this point here to this point, I am good with my spacing. Let me show you. This is my spacing bar that I've been using to dial in all my gaps. And if you look here, if you put this in here, it starts hitting right about there. So from here all the way down, I gotta grind that away to give me that space. And because I'm not going to move my quarter panel, because I'll show you in a second. So here it is really loose. So as you can see, there's a big gap. So I got to fill that all in. So if I put a straight edge from this corner here all the way down, this has to get filled in with some weld. So let me pop this open, show you. Okay, so here is where the bumper has to hit from the trunk lid. And if you look here, I'm going to show you. This right here is where the hole is for the bumper, for the trunk lid, which it should be like right here. They don't line up. So that's where it should be. And that's where it is. Make a dent like right here, and I'm going to drill the same diameter hole so I could put my rubber stopper in there so we could actually adjust where it needs to go. But anyway, as of for now, I got to grind the trunk lid from this point here all the way down to the edge, and as you can see, I can't move it because it's welded fast all in here. I could cut it and spread it out, but I don't want to do that because this is all reinforced under here, and if I start cutting, it's going to create more and more problems. So I don't want to mess with this too much. So that being said, I'm just going to fill this in with some weld right here, and then I'm going to grind this down here. On this side, it's actually pretty good. I've been banging it here just to move it in a little bit on the quarter panel, because all I had to do was move it like a 1/16 of an inch, if that. So let me show you what it looks like. Okay, see? Right there, it gets a little tight right in here, but if I put my spacer, it fits in there at an angle. So right there's a little tight, but that's pretty much the only spot where I could grind that and then re-weld it, and then that should be good. But as you can see, all the way down, this spacer is pretty good. And right there, see how open that is right there, just that 1/16 of an inch? I'm okay with that, and I don't want to move this anymore because it's straight up across that whole body line right there. So anyway, let's get going. Okay, it's coming along. I just got to do a lot of grinding here, and I know I'm going to go to where it bends, where the metal is bent over, and then I'm going to have to put a bead of weld all along that edge to keep it from separating. So I'm aware of that, but once I'm done grinding this all up, I'm going to bring the camera down here and show you what it looks like. But so far I'm good about maybe an inch past my mark, so now I got to come all the way down here. I'm trying to do it in equal swipes, so I'm not putting gouges in the metal. So let me finish what I'm doing and I'll bring you down here and show you. I'm getting ready to weld what I grinded off because I don't want the metal to keep opening up because it's bent over. The skin is bent over the shell. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tack weld a couple spots and show you what it looks like when I'm done. I'm sure if you followed my build, you've seen me do this before, but I just don't want it to open up any more than what it is. So I'm just going to add a little bit of weld in here to close those gaps up and then grind everything again, and that way it won't open up when I put my body filler and my primer and all that other good stuff. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, I'm going to bring you down here and show you what this looks like, and then I'm going to sand it and see what I missed and just touch it up. And what I mean by like I went and bounced around. I don't want to warp the metal and put a lot of heat. So I just don't want to warp anything, so I'm going really slow. So I just want to show you what this looks like. Here we are. It's just my tack welds. I gotta see, I missed here, right there, there. I just gotta go in there and weld this and then grind it down again so everything here doesn't open up and spread. In case you're wondering, that's what I'm doing in this area here. So gonna turn the camera off, and I'm just gonna go in here and just grind this smooth and see what I missed. And I'm just gonna touch up a little bit more in here before I do that. So I'll turn the camera on when I'm ready to start grinding. Wanted to show you what this is looking like. So as you can see, it looks all gnarly because you have to basically spot weld everything so you don't warp the metal here. But this is what it's going to look like now. As you can see right in here, I got to fill in a little bit more, especially down in here. It looks all gnarly. But before I do that, I am gonna finish sanding the underside a little bit better and see how much I have to take off, because I might have over welded this, where if I just take it back, it'll look good. And in order to do that, I have to move all this stuff here. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what this looked like after I got done grinding it. So I'm gonna grind it a little bit more on the underside, and then I'm gonna see what I need to do to straighten that out. I just got done cleaning everything up, grinding it, and I did my final sand with my DA. That way I get it nice and round. And I take all the little burrs off that I couldn't get with my grinder. I like to get it nice and smooth because filler does not like square edges. Anyway, I'm gonna bring you down here and show you what it looks like now that it's complete and grinded. And I've got my little spacer in here, and I'll show you what that looks like. And then I'm gonna start up here, but that's for later on. But I just wanted to show you how this came out. Here we are. I got to weld this right here. It's cracked for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe for me tapping it in before it actually split on this corner. So anyway, just want to show you. I'm going to close this. Okay, there's my gap. Everything looks uniform. Let me show you all the way up there. That's what I did with my welding and grinding. I didn't do the upper half yet. See how I still have to do that? But I wanted to show you this part. Here's my spacer, and I'm gonna run this down all the way down. And look at that, perfect. Just slips right through. Everything's nice, even, and that's what I want. I want that space. This is a little thicker than what I need it to be. So with the paint and the filler and everything else that I'm gonna do, it's gonna end up coming out perfect. So I just wanted to show you that gap right there, and then I'm just gonna primer it, and then I am gonna be done with the lower half, and I'm gonna work up there in a little bit. I'm getting ready to start welding a bead of metal all the way down the edge of the quarter panel where I showed you before that needed to get filled in. I already did the corner, as you saw. Now I'm getting ready to do this. I turned my welder off so you don't hear the humming, but I'm gonna weld a bead here, close the trunk lid, check it, make sure how much I'm putting. I don't want to put too much, and I don't want to put not enough, but I want to get in there and clean this up really well so the gap is consistent all the way through. I'm going to start up here first. So let me get all my gear and situated, and I'm going to start welding. I'm all set. We're going to start welding this down. I'm going to put a bead across all the way to where I made a mark to stop over here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the trunk lid and measure and see how much more weld I need to be putting down. So let's get started. that is my first pass. And I have the light here so I can see a lot better. Right now it looks pretty good. So, like I said, I don't want to put too much and I don't want to put not enough. So I have to close the hood, check it, look at it, and see what I could do. So I'm going to bring you down here so you can see all this. I didn't want to weld a straight bead because what happens is, I know I mentioned this before, but for my new subscribers, I wanted to tell you that if you put a straight bead, the heat will warp the panel, and you don't want to have a lot of warping, even though you're going to work this with some body filler, but still you do not want to warp the quarter panel or the metal that you're trying to fix. So I'm going to bring you over here and show you this, and then I'm going to see if I need to add more weld, which I know I will, but I just wanted you to see what it looks like before I go any further. This is what it looks like all welded up. So it looks all gnarly. But right here, I did a steady weld. It's actually still hot. So I just wanted to show you that right in here. So, and that's my stop point. I made a little mark. So that's my stop point. So let's close the hood and see what it looks like. Okay, there's the, oops, sorry about my fingers. There's the gap right there. It doesn't look like I need to go too much more. I probably have to put another pass, and then that's good right in there. Okay, so I'm gonna clean it up. Let me bring over my gauge, hold on. Here's my gauge. So I'm gonna run this in here, and as you can see, there's a little bit of play because I do want to put some kind of filler to make sure that edge is nice and straight. Right there, it's actually looks pretty good. Right there needs a little more weld. So I'm just going to add another line all the way down. I just wanted you to see that. You see that? I'm going to add another bead all the way down, and then I am going to sand it and grind it and see what it looks like. This is going to be the second pass. Okay, there it is. There's the gap. And as you can see, it looks really, really good. The gap is almost perfect. Here's my gauge. I'm right there. It looks like there's a bigger gap than what I want. So I might run a bead of weld just probably down to about here just to fix that. And I got to grind this and make it straight. You could see that it warps a little bit. And by sanding this out a little more, I could fix that. I haven't been really paying attention with my grinder. I just wanted to get it down smooth so I can show you what that looks like. And then I'm just going to do some really detailed grinding. A grinding pad with a backer disc to get it straight. See, like this has a backer disc. So I know that once I'm this way, it's going to be perfectly flat. But I've been getting in there with my grinder with this, and what it allows you to do is to get in there and really like tilt the grinder a little bit to get in there better so you can clean that up a little quicker and faster. But I'm going to run another little bead down here, and then that's going to be it for that. Right here, it looks really, really sharp. My gauge is in there. So I'm really happy with my hood here. This got to come up a little bit more, and then that'll slide in there, and then that gap is nice. And this gap is a little tight too. So like I said, I could shift this over. That's because I'm working over there and pushing everything back and forth, so it's moving more than I want it to. But right in here is going to be really, really good right here. So And that's about it. So I'm just gonna finish this up on this side, and I'm gonna show you what that looks like when I'm all 100% done. And so if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Priming the weld that I did. I just wanted to show you the gap, how it turned out. So there you are, okay? So then you just follow that down, and you could see like right here it gets a little wider, but that's fine because I'm going to use filler to make sure everything lines up perfectly. But look at that gap. It's almost perfect all the way down. So if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Let me show you the other side. I'll show you the top. Sorry about the focusing. So here's the top. I didn't touch the top at all. That actually was pretty good. So here we have it all the way across. And then over here, it's actually pretty good. I just have to sand it and make it smooth. It's from my hammer marks, it's kind of a little wompy. But again, when you put filler on this side and filler on this side to blend these two, you're gonna have to do this whole area together so everything comes out equal. So you don't do it individually, and make sure you have all your gaskets in place when you do it. So right here, it gets a little wider than up there. See that? Let me just show you that again. See how that's nice right there? That's perfect. And then it gets a little wider down here. I might leave that go and just put a little bit of filler. So I haven't determined that yet, so I don't know, but everything is lining up really nice. I don't want to put a bead of weld down there. I'm pretty much done with the trunk right now. This is a little high, but again, you got to put filler on this side to blend that in on that side. So I just wanted to show you the progress that came out of adjusting this whole trunk lid. So there you have it. I mean, it came out really, really nice. So there it is. And let me pop the hood real quick. Okay. This is what it looks like on the inside. So, I mean, it came out really nice. It's hard to tell. It's a little low here, but again, you got to just put a little bit of filler in there and then in here, because the more heat you apply, because this is sheet metal, it will warp. So I had a little bit happening as I showed you right in here a little bit. This sunk down and this popped up because of the heat shrunk this metal. That's why it did that, in case you're wondering. I just want to thank you for subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It supports my channel, and please slam that like button. If you have anything that you would like to see, if I haven't gotten to it yet, let me know, and I will make a video of it. If I'm in that area of the build, that's not a problem. And I always get back to all my comments. So if you have a comment and you want to know how to do something, or if you like my video, just leave a comment, say thank you. Again, I'm Harry. This is Classic Rewind. I'll see you on the next one.